Cinderella.
Cinderella's mother died. After that, her father married another woman. The woman became Cinderella's stepmother. Cinderella's stepmother had 2 daughters. They were not nice to Cinderella. Her stepmother was not nice to her either. They made Cinderella do all of the work around the house. Cinderella planted a tree branch on her mother's grave. She visited the grave every day. She cried and cried there. Her tears watered the branch. It grew into a big tree. One morning, a letter came to the house. Cinderella's stepmother read the letter. She became very excited. She said, "The king is having a festival for 3 days. He wants to find a girl for the prince to marry." "Will you go to the festival?" asked Cinderella. Her stepmother said, "Of course. This letter says every girl must come to the festival." "Me too?" asked Cinderella. Cinderella's stepmother laughed. She said, "You have too much work to do. Now go get your sisters." That day, Cinderella helped her stepsisters get ready for the festival. Her stepsisters made Cinderella work all day. And Cinderella's stepmother gave her extra work to do. "Cinderella," her stepmother called, "come here. I threw a pot of beans into the ashes. Pick them all out. Then you can go to the festival." Two white birds came to help Cinderella. She knew these birds. They lived in the tree over her mother's grave. The birds quickly picked out all of the beans from the ashes. Cinderella took the beans to her stepmother. She said, "Look, I have picked out all of the beans from the ashes. Can I go to the festival?" But her stepmother said, "No, Cinderella, you can't go to the festival with us. You are too dirty." Then she left the house with her 2 daughters and Cinderella's father. They all got into a coach and went to the ball. Cinderella ran to the tree over her mother's grave. She asked the tree for something gold and silver. The 2 white birds in the tree heard her. They dropped a silver dress and gold shoes on Cinderella. Cinderella thanked the tree. She changed her clothes and ran to the festival. Everyone at the festival was very surprised. They all said, "What a beautiful girl!" The prince thought so too. He danced with Cinderella all day. The prince wanted to take the beautiful girl home that night. But Cinderella was too shy. She ran from the prince. She got into her father's coach and shut the door. The prince told Cinderella's father, A girl went in your coach. Make her come out. But when Cinderella's father opened the coach, Cinderella was not there. The door on the other side of the coach was open. Cinderella went out the door before her father opened the coach. She ran all the way home. That night, her family found Cinderella at home sleeping. She was dressed in her old, dirty clothes. The next day, Cinderella's family went to the festival again. After they left the house, Cinderella went to her mother's grave. The birds dropped another dress and gold shoes on her. This dress was more beautiful than the first. Everyone at the festival was surprised by how beautiful she was. And the prince danced with her all day. The prince wanted to take her home that night, but Cinderella ran from him. This time, she climbed a tree to hide from him. The prince told Cinderella's father, "A girl ran up that tree. Cut it down." Her father cut the tree down, but Cinderella was not there. Before the tree fell, she climbed down the other side and ran home. That night, her family found Cinderella at home sleeping. She was dressed in her old, dirty clothes. The third day, the birds dropped another dress and gold shoes on Cinderella. This dress was more beautiful than the others. The prince danced with Cinderella all day. Now the prince knew the girl would run away again. So on this day, he put something sticky on the castle stairs. As Cinderella ran down the stairs, one of her gold shoes got stuck. But she didn't stop. She ran home with one shoe. That night, her family found Cinderella at home sleeping. She was dressed in her old, dirty clothes. The prince wanted to marry the girl he danced with, but he did not know her name. He only had one gold shoe from the girl's foot. The prince searched the land for the girl. He went to every house. He asked every girl he met to put on the shoe, but it did not fit any of the girls. Then the prince came to Cinderella's house. Her stepsisters put on the shoe, but it did not fit their feet. The prince asked, "Are there any other girls in this house?" Cinderella's father said, "I have one more daughter, but it can't be her shoe." The prince made Cinderella put on the shoe. It fit perfectly. He said, "You are the girl from the festival. Will you marry me?" Of course, Cinderella said yes, and they were very happy.
Sleeping Beauty.
There was a king and queen. They wanted a baby very much. They tried for many years to have one. Then they had a daughter. They named the princess Rose. They were very happy. They had a party. They invited 7 fairies. The fairies could give the princess special gifts. But the king forgot something. He forgot to invite the 8th fairy. The 8th fairy was very old. She did not like to be with people or fairies. The king thought she was dead, but she was not dead. Now she was very angry. On the night of the party, the 8th fairy came to the castle. She wanted to hurt the baby princess. The youngest fairy saw her. She knew the old fairy was angry. The youngest fairy hid. She watched and waited. What was the old fairy going to do? The 6 other fairies gave Rose her gifts. They used their magic. One fairy gave her beauty. Another gave her a kind heart. A third gave her a gift of singing. All the gifts were wonderful. Then the old fairy jumped out. "I have a gift too," said the old fairy. "When Rose turns 16, she will die. She will hurt her finger on a spinning wheel." The queen fainted. The king cried, "Oh no!" Then the youngest fairy came out. She said, "I will change the bad spell. I cannot change everything, but I can save your daughter's life." "How?" said the king. "Rose will not die," said the fairy. "She will sleep for 100 years. Then a prince must kiss her to wake her up." From that day on, no spinning wheels were allowed in the castle. "16 years went by. One day, the king and queen went to see their friends. Rose stayed in the castle. The old fairy came back. She brought a spinning wheel. Rose found the old fairy in a small room. "What are you doing?" asked Rose. "I am spinning this cotton," said the old fairy. "Can I try?" asked Rose. "Yes," said the old fairy. Rose sat down and began spinning. Then she hurt her finger. Rose fell asleep. The king and queen came back. They found Rose asleep. The young fairy came to help them.
I will make another spell,
Said the fairy.
I'll make everyone in the castle sleep for 100 years.
Even the dogs and cats? Asked the queen.
Everyone,
Said the fairy. The fairy used her magic wand. She put the servants to sleep. She put the cooks to sleep. She put the cleaners to sleep. She put the horses to sleep. Everyone and everything in the castle went to sleep. The king and queen could not stay. "Goodbye, Rose. Goodbye, Rose," they cried. Then the fairy used another spell. Big trees grew all around the castle. "100 years passed. One day, a prince came to the castle. He was hunting in the forest. The prince found the castle behind the trees. He saw all the people asleep. Then the prince found Rose. She was very beautiful. He gave her a kiss. Rose woke up.
Oh!
So did all the servants and animals. The prince married Rose. They were very happy.
A Little Princess.
Chapter 1. The New School. It was a gray winter day. A little girl sat beside her father in a cab.
Papa,
She whispered.
Papa, is this the place?
"Yes, Sarah," said her father. "This is the place." Sarah Crew was born in India. Her mother was dead. Her father was young, good-looking, and rich. Sarah loved him, and he loved her. But Sarah was not in India anymore. She was in England now. She was there to go to school.
Please stay with me, Papa.
She said.
Come to school with me.
Her father looked unhappy. "No, Sarah," he said. "I must go back to India." The cab stopped in front of a big house. It was a school for girls. Sarah's father got out of the cab. He rang the doorbell. A woman came to meet them. She was thin and ugly. Her name was Miss Minchin. Miss Minchin was a greedy woman. She knew that Sarah's father was rich. Sarah was his only daughter. He would give lots of money to the girl. Then she would help Sarah use the money. Miss Minchin looked at Sarah. "What a pretty child," she said. Sarah looked at Miss Minchin but said nothing.
I am not pretty,
thought Sarah.
I am thin. I have black hair and green eyes. I am as ugly as she is. Why does she call me pretty?
Let's not stand out here, said Miss Minchin. Please come in, Captain Crew. Then she led Sarah and her father into the school. Chapter 2. A French Lesson. Captain Crew went back to India. He told Miss Minchin to buy Sarah the best of everything. Sarah had beautiful dresses. They were made of silk, velvet, and lace. Sarah also had the biggest bedroom in the house. Sarah liked all these things, but she missed her father very much. Miss Minchin was pleased with her new student. This girl was richer than a princess. She dressed like a princess. The other schoolgirls were excited to meet Sarah. They liked to look at her gorgeous clothes. Over time, the other girls also learned that Sarah was kind. But some girls were jealous because she was rich. Sarah was a clever girl. She loved to read books. She liked to learn new things. One morning, Miss Minchin came into the schoolroom. Have you ever learned French in school, Sarah? She asked.
No, Miss Minchin,
said Sarah, but then you must start learning it now, said Miss Minchin. Sarah knew how to speak French, but Miss Minchin would not let her explain. Then the French teacher came into the schoolroom.
The teacher will understand,
thought Sarah. Sarah stood up. She explained things to the teacher in French. Miss Minchin was very surprised. She was also angry. The other girls were laughing at Miss Minchin. From that day, Miss Minchin disliked Sarah. Chapter 3. The Diamond Mines. Sarah could tell wonderful stories. All the schoolgirls loved to listen to them. Becky was a servant girl. She worked in the school, keeping it clean. Becky loved to listen to Sarah's stories, just like the other girls. Sarah made friends with Becky. She knew that Miss Minchin would not like it. But she wanted to be nice to Becky. Every night, Becky came to clean Sarah's room. Sarah gave her food. Then she told her new friend a story. Captain Crew often wrote letters to his daughter. In one letter, he told Sarah some news. He and his friend had bought some diamond mines. If these mines were good, they would make a lot of money. When Miss Minchin heard this, she was pleased. Now Sarah would be even richer than before. Then sad news arrived. A man came to see Miss Minchin. He told her that Sarah's father was dead, but before he died, he lost all his money. Miss Minchin was furious. She had treated Sarah like a princess. She had used a lot of money on Sarah. Now she would not get any of it back. Her rich student became poor. Miss Minchin called Sarah into the schoolroom. Your father is dead, she told Sarah. And you are not rich anymore. You are poor. You have nothing. Chapter 4. A Servant Girl. Sarah was heartbroken. She loved her father very much. Now her father was dead. Nobody was left to care for her. Nobody loved her. Miss Minchin took away Sarah's gorgeous clothes. Sarah wore an old black dress every day. She had to leave her beautiful bedroom. She had to sleep in the attic. She had no blanket to keep herself warm. She was a servant girl now, like Becky. Sarah had to work hard. Sarah ran errands all day. She went out in the rain and snow. Miss Minchin made her teach the younger schoolgirls French. Sarah also got very little food to eat. She was very tired most of the time.
I must not be sad,
thought Sarah.
I will pretend to be a princess. A true princess is never unkind. A true princess is always good to others.
Sarah knew that she was poor now, but pretending to be a princess helped. Becky helped Sarah as much as she could. Sarah was happy that Becky was her friend. Miss Minchin was often unkind to Sarah, but Sarah was never rude back to her. When Miss Minchin shouted at her, Sarah did not cry. She listened and tried to do her work well. Miss Minchin hated Sarah more than ever. Chapter 5. The Gentleman Next Door. In the spring, someone moved into the house next door. Sarah stood at the attic window. She watched people taking furniture and boxes into the house. A man was taken into the house. He was wrapped in a blanket. He looked ill and unhappy. Sarah thought of her father. He had been very ill before he died.
I wish I could help this man,
she thought. The gentleman had come from India, but he was not Indian. He was English. His name was Mr. Carrisford. Mr. Carrisford had an Indian servant. This servant missed India very much. India was warm and sunny, but England was cold and rainy. One day, Sarah saw the servant. He was standing at his attic window. She smiled, and he smiled back. The servant had a little monkey with him. Suddenly, the monkey jumped out the window. It ran across the rooftop. It ran towards Sarah. Sarah caught the monkey. She spoke to the servant in Hindi. He was very surprised. He walked across the rooftop to her. Sarah gave him the monkey. The servant smiled at Sarah, and then he went back. Later, he told Mr. Carrisford about the kind girl. One night, the monkey ran away again. Sarah found him in her attic.
she thought. Everyone next door will think he is lost. I must take him back. Sarah went to the house next door. She rang the doorbell. Chapter 6. A Princess After All. Mr. Carrisford was sitting by the fire.
It is nice to meet you,
He said.
Thank you for bringing the monkey back. Are you a student at the school?
I was at first, said Sarah. Then my father died in India. He lost all his money. Now I am poor. The gentleman looked surprised.
What was your father's name?
He asked. Captain Ralph Crewe, said Sarah.
Ralph Crewe?
Cried the gentleman.
You are Ralph Crewe's daughter. I have been looking for you for 2 years. I am your father's friend. I bought some diamond mines with him. I was very ill when he died. When I got better, I looked for you everywhere. Nobody knew where you were.
Suddenly, Miss Minchin was at the door.
How dare you come into this gentleman's house?
She shouted.
Come home right now. Home?
Said Mr. Carrisford.
You have not given her a home. This girl is not poor at all.
All Miss Minchin could say was,
But her father died.
Mr. Carrisford said,
I have kept Miss Sarah's fortune safe. She is very, very rich. She is richer than any princess. You could have been kind to her, but you were unkind instead.
Miss Minchin nearly fainted.
Rich?
She cried.
Sarah Crewe is rich?
Sarah was a little princess after all.
Beauty and the Beast.
Chapter 1. Riches to Rags. There was a good, wealthy merchant with 3 sons and 3 daughters. The merchant's daughters were beautiful. The youngest was called Beauty. Beauty was beautiful on the inside and on the outside. She was never unkind to anyone. Her sisters were different. They were beautiful on the outside, but not on the inside. They went to parties every day. They laughed at Beauty because she didn't go to these parties. Suddenly, the merchant lost his wealth. The family was poor. They had to move to a house in the country. They had to find work. Beauty, her father, and brothers worked hard. The men worked all day on the farm. Beauty kept the house. She also read books and played music for the family. However, her sisters did not know what to do. They slept late every day. They only thought,
Life is terrible. We are poor.
They thought Beauty was stupid to be happy. Chapter 2. The Strange Palace. One day, the merchant was told that a ship had come. It carried goods for him. The family would have money again. The 2 eldest daughters asked their father to buy expensive things. They wanted new dresses and shoes. Beauty's father asked Beauty what she wanted. Beauty said, "Just a rose. That is all I want, Father." Beauty really wanted nothing, but if she asked for nothing, her sisters would be mad. That would make them look bad. Beauty's father went to collect his goods from the ship. However, there was a problem. Beauty's father could not get the goods. He had to return home as poor as before. On the way home, the merchant became lost. It rained and snowed. A strong wind blew him from his horse twice. He thought he would die. Then the merchant saw some lights. They were from a palace. At the palace, the merchant discovered a barn. He put his horse there. Then he hurried to the palace door. He called out, but no one came. The merchant went into the palace. He found a magnificent room. A huge fire was burning. There was a table of delicious food. He waited and waited, but no one appeared. He was very hungry. He helped himself to a delicious chicken and some wine. After eating, he decided to explore the palace. The merchant discovered a bedroom. A large, soft bed was in the room. The merchant got in the bed and went to sleep. Chapter 3. The Merchant and the Beast. Beauty's father woke the next morning. He was surprised to find magnificent new clothes. He was sure this was a kind fairy's palace. He looked out the window. There he saw beautiful flowers, not snow. He also found more delicious food in the room where he ate dinner. The merchant said to no one, "Thank you. You are a kind fairy." After eating, the merchant went to get his horse from the barn. On the way, he passed the most magnificent roses. Beauty had asked him for one rose. He picked one. Then he heard a great roar. An angry beast was running up to him. The beast roared, "You are taking my roses. I helped you. Then you do this in return?" The merchant fell to his knees. "My lord, please don't kill me. Your roses are so magnificent, I could not help myself. This one was a gift for my daughter." The beast was interested in the merchant's daughter. "Send your daughter to me," said the beast. "Then you will not die. If she refuses, you must return. Do you agree?" the beast asked. Beauty's father agreed. He got his horse and went home. Chapter 4. Beauty and the Beast. Arriving home, Beauty's father gave Beauty the magnificent rose. Then he told his family about the beast. Beauty's two sisters became angry at Beauty. They said their father would die because of the rose. Beauty promised that their father would live. Beauty said, "I will go. I will give my life to save our father." Beauty's sisters were happy. They were happy that Beauty was giving herself to the beast. Beauty's father was crazy with grief. Finally, the day came to return to the beast's palace. Beauty's sisters cried. However, they were not really sad for Beauty. Beauty was sad to leave, but she did not cry. She did not want her family to worry. Beauty and her father traveled together to the beast's palace. When they got there, they went into the palace's huge hall. Then they heard the beast's loud roar. Beauty was afraid. When the beast came into the room, she was more afraid. Beauty told the beast that she came willingly. The beast thanked the merchant for his honesty. He let Beauty spend one last night with her beloved father. Chapter 5. The Queen of the Palace. The next morning, Beauty's father cried as he left. When our father was gone, Beauty cried too. Then she decided to stop crying. Crying did not help. Beauty explored the palace. She was surprised to find a door with a sign. It said, "Beauty's Room." She opened the door. Inside, she discovered a library. Beauty opened a book. Inside were words written in gold. The words said, "Do not be afraid, Beauty. You are the queen here. Wish for anything. You will get it." Beauty closed the book. She said to herself, "I have a single wish. I wish to see my father." A looking glass appeared. She saw her family's cottage in the glass. She saw her father. He looked very sad. She saw her two sisters. They looked happy. Beauty's sisters were happy. They were happy Beauty was gone. Chapter 6. The Gold Ring. At dinner, there were candles on the table. All of the food was delicious. Beauty agreed to dine with the beast. The beast asked Beauty, "Am I ugly to you?" Beauty did not want to lie. She told him, "You are kind." Then he asked, "Beauty, will you marry me?" Beauty quickly answered, "No." The beast left. Months passed. Beauty and the Beast dined together each evening. Beauty came to like the Beast. Every night, the Beast asked Beauty to marry him. Her answer was always no. Finally, he asked her to promise never to leave him. She promised. However, she first had to see her father again. Beauty promised to return in 1 week. The Beast was unhappy, but he agreed to let Beauty visit her beloved father. The Beast gave Beauty a gold ring. The magic ring would take her to her father. Later, it would bring her back to the Beast. That night, Beauty put on the ring. In the morning, she woke up in her father's house. Her father was so happy. That night, Beauty dressed herself in a magnificent dress from the Beast's palace. She dined with her sisters. Beauty's sisters were unhappily married. They saw how beautiful and happy Beauty was. The sisters decided to try and keep Beauty at home for more than 1 week. They hoped that the Beast would eat her for breaking her word. They began to be very kind to Beauty. Beauty agreed to stay more than a week. Chapter 7. Beauty and the Prince. Beauty missed the Beast. One night, she had a dream about the Beast in the palace. He was in bed. He looked like he was near death. Beauty woke up from her dream. She was crying. She had to see the Beast. Beauty put on the magic gold ring. She went back to sleep. Beauty woke up at the palace. She dressed in her most magnificent clothes. She waited at the table to dine with the Beast. The Beast did not appear. Beauty looked everywhere in the palace. She finally found the Beast. However, he appeared to be dead. Then he spoke in a gentle, loving voice. "My life is nothing without you. When you did not return, I stopped eating. Without you, I want to die." "I love you," Beauty said. "Please don't die. Live and marry me. I beg you." Then music started to play. There was a strange light. Suddenly, the Beast was gone. Standing before Beauty was a handsome prince. The prince said, "You saved me, Beauty. A wicked fairy turned me into the Beast. To become a prince again, a beautiful woman had to agree to marry me." The prince took Beauty to his real palace. They got married. They lived together happily in the palace for many years.